Hi, Adam.
Hi, Andrzej. Hey, how are you?
Very good. And yourself?
Fine, fine, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew, and I'm Chief Revenue Officer at RealEye. I am, and I think I can say we are super excited to be here with you today. Some of you already know Adam. He's the CEO of RealEye. And for those who don't, Adam is also a serial entrepreneur and founder with a tech background. So we are here today to talk about webcam eye tracking. And I wanted to say that eye tracking technology is not new. It's been known for decades. But actually, there were many tries with webcam which were failures. But in recent years, due to IT development and development of webcams, they become very competitive. And I must say that COVID actually helped it. Um, Before we start, could you say what's the reason people actually switch from the lab to webcam approach?
Yeah,
Why they do not want to conduct traditional research in the lab?
yeah, sure. So it's maybe it's important to underline that the webcam-based eye tracking is going to play a role just right next to the hardware eye tracking. So it's not that every type of research can be replaced with webcams. So webcam-based eye tracking has its own limitations, and I'm not talking only about the accuracy, but also about measuring retina size, sampling in higher than 60 hertz frame rate, and so on. But there are many fields that webcam-based eye tracking can be actually used for research. And while I mentioned the accuracy, we like to say that the accuracy of like the typical hardware eye tracker is around like a letter size accuracy. Meanwhile, you can expect that the webcam will give you around the website button size accuracy. So that's what you should expect. And answering your question, Andrzej, I've prepared some slides for this conversation. So probably I'll share my presentation just for a moment to give you an overview on why companies and people are deciding to switch to webcam. So let's just imagine for a moment that we need to conduct an eye tracking experiment with 20 different images or videos with some questionnaire and run it on 100 panelists. So our options are like this. It's either running it in laboratory, where we need to equip the laboratory with expensive hardware. And the worst thing about it is that we have to invite panelists to the office, to the in-laboratory setup, which first of all takes a lot of time and takes a lot of money. So let's say that we will need to wait at least for 2 weeks for the data collection. Let's assume that we can handle 10 people a day, or we can use a webcam-based eye tracking. And that's where you will see the biggest gains with using webcams. So you can have the results ready and gathered basically within minutes, hours, maximum days, probably, because participants can do the eye tracking exercise in parallel, since they're doing it on their own computers, laptops, tablets, or smartphones. So probably that's the biggest gain, that's the biggest win, that it's happening fast and that it's happening much more cost efficient.
Yeah, yeah. So it's also, I think, about the much smaller engagement of researchers, so they do not need to accompany anyone in the lab.
Yeah. I can imagine that inviting people to lab requires some small talk, describing what they need to do and so on. So repeating this routine for 100 times feels a bit challenging.
We hear a lot that time is a new currency for brands, so they need their research instantly. They don't want to work 2 weeks before they get the results. In terms of study types, we've seen companies doing all sort of researches, starting with shopper insights tests like planogram or shelf testing, packaging testing, so comparing, for example, A/B versions of the packaging. We see companies doing some advertisement testing, both like video ads, product placements, as well as online ads testing. So this could be showing a static ad or video ad in different media channels like news websites or YouTube or Facebook or TikTok environments. Um, so there are numerous ways of using real eye.
Yeah,
Um,
it's also maybe important to underline that the AI tracking part is just one layer of the data. I don't know if that's what you were Andrzej referring to, but basically you can also measure mouse movements, mouse clicks, how much time people spend looking at different elements, videos, sub pages. And very often we observe that the behavioral research, just like eye tracking research, is conducted with the declarative part. So right away after the eye tracking exercise or right before, also the declarative survey is being held, asking people about some specific questions about their what they like, what they dislike, and so on, to simply cross the data in as many possible possibilities as possible, as many ways as possible, to simply squeeze the information, as many information as can be squeezed out of single study, single research.
Yeah, and although like there are numerous ways of using real eye, after working here for almost a year, I can say that most of the studies look in some way similar. So they have a certain flow. So as you said, eye tracking is part of is often part of a larger study. Could you actually show us how to set up such a study?
Yeah, sure. So maybe before showing how to set up, I will show you how to participate in one of these studies. This will give you some overview on how actually easy it is to capture such data from the panelists' webcams. And then I'll show you how to create such a study that I have just participated in. Okay.
Sure.
All right, let me share my screen then. So let's imagine for a moment that I'm a panelist and I just got this link from a panel provider, email, or anything like that. And what I'm being asked for is to go through several steps that will guide me through the process. So I need to grant access to my webcam, to my camera. And the important part is to know that nothing is being recorded by the webcam, or nor images are being taken. So basically all the calculations are happening in the web browser of the panelists. So he or she may feel safe that the data is not traveling anywhere. Only the data points of the gaze are being sent, of the gaze
So it's
predictions.
also very good for the GDPR.
That's right. That's right. So what is happening right now is the calibration process. So I need to follow this red dot with my eyes, and the system learns how my eyes looks like while I'm looking at different parts of the screen. And right away after that, I'll be asked to destroy dots just using my eyes. This is a calibration confirmation page. So my mouse is here in the middle. I'm just looking at these 4 dots. Since I passed this part, I can proceed to the test. Click the product you would purchase. That's the study instruction. Okay, so this is some type of planogram. I'm looking more or less when I'm moving my mouse, just to give you the idea of the accuracy, and I'm clicking this product. Have you found the product usually purchase? Not sure. Take a look at the following product. Okay, so that's just the product labeling. In case a panelist leaves the computer or moves the head too much, then something like this being presented, asking the panelist to go back to the previous position. How much you like the package? What are the specific features of the product? Okay. I don't recall, to be honest, what other brands. So I know one Polish brand, Timbark. I'll write it over here. How much would you pay for this product? Let's say 2.5 to 3. The advertisement.
So we don't hear the voice, but I guess you do.
Yeah. There's just a nice music behind in the background. So the eye tracking happened also on the video. I'm being asked to answer some additional questions. So this is the declarative part. Take a look at the following advertisement. So another video will be presented to me. in case it's a video, there is also an option to stop the video after some specific time. So very often what we see is that companies are asking panelists to press spacebar once they are bored or once they don't want to see the video anymore. I'll just watch it till the very end. Okay. And probably the test is done. Just one more question. And the results are being sent to the server right now. So from the panel, from the scientists, from the researchers' perspective, what we can observe from the dashboard is the results that were already collected. So this is me. These are my results, anonymous. This is my test flow. So we can see which elements I was presented to. There was actually an A/B test hidden behind this study, and my survey answers, and among all the data, some additional information about my test. So what we can do right now is we can see how the study was created. Before jumping into results, I can show you, Andrzej, how the study was created. I think that was your initial question.
Yeah.
So to create such a study, it's not really hard process. So all you need to have are the images that you would like to use to test, and also the videos. And you just need to upload them to the server by using the add button, add study items, and drag and drop all the items that you would like to test to the study. So let's say that I would like to create additional step of making an A/B test between these two items that I have just uploaded. So what I can do is I can wrap these two into the item group element, drag and drop them into this group, and say that I would like to show only one item from this selected randomly. And what will happen is just one of these items will be presented within the study. And in a very similar way, I've just uploaded these videos before this conversation, and also uploaded these previous images and the planograms. So I don't think it's super relevant to go through the entire process of setting up all the stimuli, but perhaps I can jump to show you the results.
It's worth mentioning that we have very support that gets very good ratings. So I think I can say that we're really user friendly, and if something is not self-explanatory, if you start doing research like this, you can get a very good help of one of our colleagues.
Yep, definitely right. Okay, let me show you the results then. Let me first show you the results of the aggregated level. So this is the planogram that was presented, and what we can do with this, we can actually see how the gazes were distributed in time. So let's say that we're interested only in the very first, let's say 5 seconds of interacting with this image, and we wanted to see whether this Minute Maid pulp-free element brought more attention than the other version, because that was an A/B test right over there between two different versions of the Minute Maid package. So if that brought more attention and brought more clicks. So this is results from 31 panelists. Actually, there was just one click, apparently. We can also see the mouse movements and the clicks. So there was just one click in the Minute Maid product. But the important thing for me is right now to see what was the average time to first fixation. So here are all the eye tracking metrics for the selected area. So our average time to first fixation means how fast people are noticing this element. Average time spent, that's how much time they are looking at this particular area. Total amount of fixations, so how many eye hits this area got. Ratio, so how many panelists have noticed this element. And some other metrics that are perhaps a bit less relevant in this case for this particular study. So by studying, for instance, how many clicks this product got and how fast it was noticed and how fast people were clicking it in average, in this case 8 seconds, I can get some answers to my hypothesis whether this label was actually better visible on this shelf, or more people clicked it or less people clicked it or not. I can be
I
very
would mention one more thing. So on the left-hand side, there is possibility to filter out some segments of panelists that are going through the study. So if you have tags or you want to filter out them by gender or by age, that's all possible.
that's right.
So you can actually select a group that are buying your product and a group that are not yet your customers or not yet your users, and then based on that draw some results.
That's right. That's actually pretty powerful that you can create segments of people, just any type of segment you wish, tag these segments, user, non-user, Coca-Cola drinkers, Fanta drinkers, and so on, and draw different conclusions. So that's actually a pretty powerful thing to simply filter out panelists by using this left panel. That's right. So moving forward, we can also analyze in a very similar way the product packaging, but let's jump to the video advertisement, because as mentioned, there is also an option to test videos. And we don't only get the eye tracking data, but we also get data about attention. So this is a heat map for the video. We can, of course, measure, for instance, whether this product package was noticed by anyone who was viewing this advertisement. Probably it would be good to have some numbers if I was the, let's say, creator of this advertisement. So ratio 10 people have noticed this product. Pretty cool. But we also have this K coefficient. Let me just hide other labels. And this K coefficient tells us whether people were paying focal or ambient attention while looking at this video advertisement. By saying focal, I mean positive. So the yellow line is above the 0, and ambient, it is below 0. A few words about distinguishing what is a focal and what is an ambient attention based on the K coefficient that we've used. Just give me a moment, and I would like to share one more slide with you. So while talking about eye movements, we're distinguishing two types of, let's say, typical eye movements. So either there is a fixation when you're not moving your sight away from a certain element, and the saccade. So whenever you're jumping to the different part of the screen, in this case, or just something different in your environment. So the K coefficient tells us basically two things. The first one is whether you're paying, what type of attention you're paying to the thing that you're engaging with right now. And the second thing is that if you're paying a focal type of attention, it means that you're processing, that your brain is actually processing what you're looking at. So based on these two types of eye tracking movements, we can distinguish when people were focal, so when they were activated to think about the thing that they're looking at, and when they were ambient, so they were not actually paying attention to what was happening. And in this case, for the advertisement that we are studying right now, we can see that for the most of the time, the attention was focal, which is basically very good information, but there were several drops of the attention somewhere in these areas. So this is also something that you can study based on eye movements to see what type of attention was gathered for your advertisement. We also
provide mean attention for a given video. So if you have several ads, this value may be compared among the ads, and this would be one layer or factor to take into consideration if you're about to choose the video that you want to display.
That's right. Our data collector also gets information about the two facial states, whether the face is presenting happy emotion, happiness. The facial landmarks can detect that someone face is smiling, or that someone's face is in the, let's say, surprise state. So these are also two metrics that can be gathered and then can be downloaded as the numeric data way. Okay. Also, if you'd like to learn more about the K coefficient, I had a pleasure to interview one of the co-authors, Krzysztof Kreitz, who published this K coefficient paper in 2016, among other professors from different universities among the world. So there's also a YouTube video me interviewing Krzysztof, when you can learn a bit more about the K coefficient itself.
Okay, so maybe I'll jump in here. So we get questions from the brands if we can do studies for them, and actually our approach is that we're trying to be experts on eye tracking and software, but we're not market research scientists. I wonder why is it so? So I know why we're not market researchers, but what's the story behind that?
Probably there are two parts of running eye tracking research. So we feel ourselves as more of a technical people who are kind of like creating the set of tools for using them in the marketing world. And it's hard to be an expert in everything. So we would rather give the tools and make sure that the tools work well and provide it to the specialists. Also, maybe it's important to underline that we're serving two types of customers. So we're not only serving neuromarketing agencies and neuromarketing world, but also neuroscience world, where we also take a lot of knowledge from. So our software is being used among many different universities all over the world. And of course, us as a company, being more of a, let's say, a marketing reports provider, would not be able to focus and help out these academic universities, institutions, being able to cooperate with them. So we're trying to make a step back and just focus on providing the tool as good as possible, and then seeing and observing how our customers and in both sides, educational part and the commercial side, are using it and utilizing for their work. I don't know if that answered your question, Andrzej. Perhaps you have something to add from your perspective.
Yeah, so I know this. So for those of people who are watching us, like if you're a brand and you're not a researcher yourself, or you don't have time, we can put you. We can contact. If you contact us, we can help you find a market research agency that probably could help you. And as you said, who our customers are, so mainly market research companies, agencies, as well as universities, especially for the business side. We have a special program because the problem is when you want to start using new tool, it's taking a leap of faith. So you need to kind of invest your time, invest your money into it. And as we're in webcam eye tracking, we want to make it as easy as possible for everyone who is in market research to start doing those kind of studies. And what we actually done, we've prepared a program for those companies if you decide you want to try real eye and make a case study, public case study that you could use to sell your products, as well as make sure that actually our software works for you. We're willing to give you our license for free for 2 months, up to 200 panelists, so that you can conduct your study and actually use this study afterwards to present the results to your potential customers. So it can be There are a couple of case studies areas that we think are interesting. So one is shopper insights, like packaging, A/B testing, shelf evaluation, etc. UX research, also ad testing. But if you have some other idea of what you would like do the case study about, I think we're quite open to simply talking to you. So to get started, you can either take a free trial, which we provide, or contact us, and we can provide you with a free license for a case study that we could then show to our other potential customers.
Super. Thanks for sharing that, Andrzej. Actually, I think that's a really nice idea. As Andrzej mentioned, it is kind of like the chicken egg problem, whether to start using a tool or to learn the tool, because you are not going to start using it before you have any requests for it, but you're not going to have requests before you put it into your offer. So I think that this making a case study is a really nice way to start serving the market with new type of behavioral data without any additional costs involved.
We also quite often get a question on mobile. Is it possible to do research on mobile?
Yes. So once you're setting up a study, you can choose which devices you would like the panelists to join from. So you can choose whether it's smartphones, tablets, or desktop devices. There are some limitations with smartphones. So we do have several different study types, and one of the study type is the screen recording sessions. So you can actually test whatever is happening on panelist screens. And that is not possible on the smartphones yet, as the mobile web browsers does not support screen sharing. And following to this question, we are really eager to keep our tests on web browsers, as asking panelists to download some additional application, mobile app, or install any additional plugin on Chrome or something like this is very tricky. So panelists are not happy to do it. So to maintain the high success rate on the panel provider side, it's really important to make this experience for them as easy as possible. And by this, I'm referring to basically open the tests on web browsers without any additional applications and so on.
So if we're talking about panelists, we often get a question on where to take the panelists from.
So we are connected to several panel providers from all over the world. One of our favorites is Prolific. We actually, our integration with Rely is going to be available, or it's already available on Prolific official page. So you can very easily choose your panel, choose your target, and then set it up, connect it with the Rely, and move forward to the test. Also, perhaps answering additional question, it's easy to integrate us with any survey provider. So recently, we've been also implemented in a platform called Question Pro. I had a pleasure to be a guest in their fire chat presenting how to do it online.
But you can use Question Pro, but you can also use Decipher, SurveyMonkey, or anything.
Absolutely right. So you can use any tool, any survey provider or any panel provider. Probably most of panel providers are already aware of Relay and basically webcam-based eye tracking. So it's, even though it feels like it's something new, from our point of view, it is not. And the market and the world already is aware about webcam eye tracking. And well, basically that's one of the reasons that we're making short talks like this with Andrzej, to basically tell the rest of the world who is not aware about it yet that it's available and you can use it.
So if I were like a market research agency and I wanted to try a Real Eye, what would you suggest? What should be my first step?
Good question. So what I would suggest is just to navigate to our homepage and set up your account by clicking try for free. So after the registration process, you'll start your free trial instantly without any credit card attachment or anything like that. So you're going to get 7-day free trial. You can play with the tool, see whether it fits your needs or not. And once you're ready to start your research, you can purchase the license online or contact us to customize your license accordingly to your needs.
Cool.
Okay.
Have we missed anything? Shall we talk?
I think we covered most of the topics. I think we answered some questions on the go. So I think it's been a nice 30 minutes. And I think it's time to wrap it up. So thanks, Andrzej, for being here with us, with me. Thanks everyone for joining us today.
Thanks, Adam, and thank you, everyone.
Hey, bye-bye.
Cheers. See you next